Hi, Astro friends, it's Melanie with the Astro weather for the week starting tomorrow, which is January 30th and going until Monday, February 5th. This week is a bit of a break from lots of astro activations, which we had last week, for example, with the full moon and Uranus going direct. Of course, the effects are still in place, especially the Uranian one ruling Aquarius, where Pluto just entered. So there's a strong push and impetus now for freedom from being stuck, feeling stuck, Taurus being so attached, in fact, to maybe old ways of being. So Uranus cuts us loose. Uranus represents the cutting of the umbilical cord to an old matrix, right? So we are, again, with this shift of Uranus going forward, being kind of catapulted into new consciousness of freedom. And that can also be wake up calls, that can be literally awakening processes. It's all about more liberation, more freedom on this earth and in this incarnation, and through slowing down, perhaps. All the Taurian virtues are being will be liberation catalysts, being more grounded, tapping more into our joy, and slowing down, finding a place in the world, being more embodied, embodying the freedom in so many ways. And Uranus works well together with Pluto in Aquarius since January 20th, moved into Aquarius right after the Sun did the same. So we are now in a whole new era. Things are really shifting. Humans are coming together. We are noticing also more who our friends are that are on a similar wavelength and a similar consciousness, and maybe others are still in the old Pisces age consciousness, so to say, right? Maybe seeing themselves as victims and still being not empowered really as humans, right? So we want to come together and collaborate and co-create with people who are also free humans and from a different level of consciousness. And what's going on this week? So more Aquarius momentum is kicking in with Mercury entering Aquarius. That's big. That's very positive. Mercury enters Aquarius on February 4th. That is Sunday until February 22nd only. Not really, only 18 days, right? So not a long time, but Mercury is very happy in Aquarius because it can think outside of the box, more liberated thinking, more synergistic thinking, more systemic thinking. The mind is freer and not as heavy and burdened and project planning and so on oriented as in Capricorn, where it is still now. After that, Mars will also enter Aquarius on the 12th and Venus on the 16th, just before the Sun leaves Aquarius, but Pluto is still in Aquarius, so February will be quite an Aquarian month. And so January has been still very Capricornian, although Pluto entered Aquarius. So we're in this whole Capricorn Aquarius transition while we're also transitioning out of Pisces into the Aquarian age. And so we're coming out of this, what I call old empire thinking, feeling, operating. Capricorn, very structural, with some on top of the pyramid of the mountain and others holding it up and being at times oppressed or just part of wherever you experience yourself as being positioned in the so-called pyramid. but that's not sustainable. That's not going to last forever. And we're moving more into circles, into um, yeah, different Aquarian systems that operate not top down but together and and synergize, right? So that is in the making, of course. We all know it, we feel it, we're part of it, and yet it's also a birthing process with Pluto representing in the birth, the actual birth process, in any transformational process that literal or symbolic, going through a birth canal. We can't go back. There's a lot of squishing going on, and the only way is through and forward and out into a new life, into a new way of being. So yeah, and this year, as I said, it's quite a Pluto transition year from Capricorn to Aquarius. So everybody who has planets either literally on that cusp, so between January 19th to 21, pretty much have their Pluto transit this year. And that's powerful. That is just once in a lifetime, if at all, because Pluto has a 248-year cycle. So your life needs to be completely transformed and renewed. And you might come across lots of shadow and lots of also dark processes, but it's all about purging of the shadow as well. Right? So anything that can support going into your shadow and purging that and clearing that will be a really beneficial. Then with Uranus, where's Uranus? I just had a session with a client whose birthday is um, in Taurus, so on the 11th of May, and that is pretty much where Uranus is now in the calendar year. Um, Everybody who has birthday around May 10th, 11th, 12th has a Uranus transit, which also comes only every 84 years. And that is all about liberation. That is also being, yeah, I'm out of here is the expression of Uranus. So that doesn't mean checking out, it can be, but more better level of consciousness. It's about liberating, being really awake and liberated without needing to escape or without needing to yeah, break the rules and stuff like that, including your own, and shattering your own old reality. So becoming fully aware into and awake into your beingness on this planet, and bringing the light onto the earth, anchoring the light on the earth and in nature, and receiving the light from nature. So it's all about nature, groundedness. Um, yeah, your own life is a garden, right? Cultivating the light is very much Uranus in Taurus. Then, yeah, so Mercury goes into Aquarius. That's the news pretty much of the week. And Pluto is freshly in Aquarius as well. Mercury will meet Pluto on the day after it enters Aquarius. So that's February 5th. That's once a year. So it can also stimulate more conversations, bring out information that has to do with this big transformation and evolution that's going on currently. And it can also have to do with themes around power with Pluto, not giving power away. How do we feel and are? How can we be more empowered together? And we have to come together to be empowered. It's been always a theme, but comes up very strongly with Pluto and Aquarius. And yeah, so what's going on with the current phase in Aquarius? We are coming tomorrow on the 30th to the central part of Aquarius, which has also an Aquarius undertone. That's the January 30th until February, let me just check, February 8th, I believe. Yeah, February 8th. And with February 9th, that will be actually also the new moon in Aquarius. We enter the third decade of Aquarius. So the central one is double Aquarius and has a lot to do with freedom, with friendship. It can be also, since it's double fixed, also bring out a lot of attachments, a lot of fixity regarding ideas and ideals. So we must not get stuck on those. And if we have an Aquarius sun in central Aquarius, Uranus will square that. In other words, also the sun will square Uranus on February 8th. So talk about that next time, but it's building up. And so if you are born around February 8th, you get a square from Uranus. So that's also that whole conflict or contrast between you in the abstract Aquarian world and then the very grounded Taurus side that from the Uranus perspective also needs to be enlightened, basically, right? So ideally, the combination of Aquarius and Taurus would be something like conscious community on the land, right? Something like that. Or really even simple walks and sharing walks with friends in nature, sharing of food, and who knows what comes from that, right? So new associations in Aquarius want to be created, co-created, and a collaboration in that mode. Links, synergy. Then we have the moon now waning because we had the full moon in Leo Aquarius on the 25th. How was that for you? Found it really a beautiful full moon energy, even though we hardly saw the moon, but it was very, very joyful and full of color, light that can be, brought into the winter scene through your own creativity, for example, with Leo, and through your heart, through heart energy, connecting with children and the inner child by Leo. Then now the moon is in Virgo, so things are more grounded, more practical. We're getting back to business after all the joy and celebration. So now back to work and service and getting things lined up and back in order. It's a good energy for that until the moon goes into Libra, which will be tomorrow. What will be tomorrow? Just after midnight. So it's all Pacific here. After 4 minutes after midnight, tomorrow the 30th, the moon will go into Libra. Oh, by the way, I forgot something. Also, what's happening tomorrow is Mars, still in Capricorn, at the very end, squares the nodal axis. So Mars squares the south node in Libra and the north node in Aries, which is ruled by Mars, right? So what's going on with that? So it activates that nodal axis, which is also always eclipse relevant. The south node now in Libra says we can lose energy if we are too much in the low vibration of Libra. So in other words, if you're too always designing our worlds around others, dancing around them, trying to keep peace, harmony, and are not authentic really, right? And are compromising ourselves, not really living our life. And that would be Aries. And Aries is where the North Node is now, and Aries is also where Chiron is now. Chiron and the North Node, in fact, come together early March. And Mars activates that axis now. So Mars, again, ruler of Aries, is supporting that Aries energy from the Capricorn side. So you could literally say, oh man, you could actually get angry and frustrated with Mars and say, oh, it's a waste of time if I do this, right? What is my priority, says Capricorn. And it starts with you, right? So be proactive around yourself and your life. And also, especially with Chiron, when it comes to anything that has to do with healing and maybe relationships, Libra, that are not conducive to your healing, that actually um, create more uh, incongruency with yourself, inauthenticity can literally create physical symptoms. So that's something to watch for. And with Mars in Capricorn, where Mars is very strong, it says, okay, what do I need to do to keep my life, keep control of my life, right, with Mars and with Capricorn. And so the Capricorn Aries side is very strong, while the moon will be in Libra tomorrow and on Wednesday. So Capricorn also rules time, and you might need to make some rearrangements with people, which I had to do already, because certain timely things for me had priority, so I had to reschedule some stuff, and rather than trying to uh, design your life around them. So that's not the point, and it might work better for everybody anyway. And then we have on Thursday, the moon goes into Scorpio over what I call a tipping point, where choices are made, need to be made, and they lead to change and they lead to transformation, or one way or another, the choice has a consequence, and that's February 1st, 12:37 p.m. afternoon, all day Friday the 2nd. Friday is also Imbolc or Brigid's Day or Groundhog Day. So the 2nd with the magical moon in Scorpio is with Imbolc on that day, a wonderful day for ceremony, right? And Imbolc is a cross quarter day in the Celtic calendar, and it is central winter. It's the middle of winter, so we're halfway through winter, and it's halfway point between winter solstice and spring equinox. So the spring, the fires under the earth, the life force is already stirring, and the goddess of the hearth and of fire, Brigid, has been celebrated and honored, and that's Imbolc energy. And then on the 3rd of February, Saturday, the moon enters Sagittarius in the evening. We'll be there all day Sunday and also all day Monday. And so Sagittarius after Scorpio, that's the phoenix point. We are coming out from a deeper process, so that can be a painful process and we feel free again, or it can be a deeper magical process, and now we are want to share that, and it has inspired us, and so on. So beautiful Sagittarius moon and Aquarius sun weekend on the horizon. That's it for today. And yeah, if you'd like to read up more, I write about all these shifts like Imbolc or also Mercury going to Aquarius on my blog, which I link below here in the show notes. And also, you can find me on Facebook. Astrology for Self-Realization is the page. And also, if you don't want to miss any of these posts and any of the blog articles, you can get it delivered into your inbox. All the content and links to content via the newsletter, which I write for every full moon and new moon. The next one will be for the Aquarius new moon on the 9th, which will also herald the Chinese New Year of the Wood Dragon, starting on the 10th of February. So if you're interested in that, below is also my email address. Please just send me an email. Please subscribe, and I automatically subscribe you to my newsletter if you want to ever opt out, there's an unsubscribe button, of course. I wish you a wonderful week and more Aquarius energy, more light coming in, longer daylight, and beautiful connections with friends and community. Take care. Bye.